YouTube and on TikTok, so this is gonna be weird because there's two different screens on here. Um, but welcome to Goddess Hour episode 1. So this specific series that I'm going to do is going to be a really fun series because to me is going to be challenging your self-care, your connection to how you self-care, and also how do you use your goddess energy in different ways, both positive and potentially like negative ways. So we're going to be covering a lot of different things on this series. Hello everyone. Hello. So I'm live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube. I'm not live on Instagram because I don't have, like, I would connect it to my computer, but that's just kind of a lot of work and I want to be able to see you guys' comments. So hold on, let me just log into my computer because I forgot to set that up before I did this. So the Goddess Hour is going to be a really cool series that I wanted to start on the channel. I got the download to do this last year and I've been kind of plotting how it's going to be. So there's going to be both bi-weekly and weekly videos in different types of episodes, but we'll also be doing lives once a week for the Goddess Hour, and we'll just be covering a lot of different things for today's Goddess Hour because this is the episode 1. Oh, hold on, I have it on. Okay, so for today's Goddess Hour, I'm going to be kind of talking to you guys about, the introductory part. But also I'm going to be doing my makeup because I'm actually going to be doing some videos for you guys tonight. I'm filming some. There's some videos that are uploading right now, some videos that I'm filming and having to edit. That is Bae in the back taking a nap. So yeah, so I'm just going to be doing my makeup because part of my goddess routine is my glamour magic. So we're going to be talking about different ways that you can use your goddess energy and how to hold space for yourself. And that's the whole point of the Goddess Hours, to challenge your relationship with your self-care and how you express your goddess energy. So yeah, so this is going to be episode 1. So I hope y'all ready. So I'm just going to start by putting my primer on. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Primer Focus one. For me, my glamour magic is a really important part of my goddess energy, especially as a woman, because I feel like it's kind of like battle armor in many ways, and you can kind of look at the different female goddesses to see how this manifests with them specifically. But for me, I feel like going through my makeup routine is part of my glamour magic because I'm able to connect and hold space for myself to really look the way I would like to look for the day, and just kind of set the tone of the energy that I'm going by. So sometimes I want to be soft, sometimes I want to be bold, sometimes like I want to be really expressive, and sometimes I I have a Leo rising, so I tend to be like very into like shiny stuff and really wanting to glow sometimes. And this is another reason why I kind of tend to go for like dewy products over matte products, but especially when it comes to foundation. But for me, when it comes to working my goddess magic energy and working it on like a regular everyday kind of way, going through my makeup routine is a really important factor into that. So one of my hello on TikTok, I was gonna say Instagram for some reason, yeah, so going through my glamour magic routine is really important, just as it should be. Like getting dressed in the morning, or like getting dressed to go out, getting dressed to go to an event or go to work or anything like that. Just waking up and going through your routine. I feel like a lot of people, they tend to simplify their routine in a kind of like, okay, I brushed my teeth, I ate, I have to go do this and that, I gotta go run errands, but they don't hold space for themselves. So the whole point of the Goddess Hour is to challenge you guys to practice your self-care routine pretty regularly on an everyday kind of way. Hello for channel members. I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation for this, and just kind of picking the tone of what I want to feel like for the day. I feel like today specifically, I've been feeling a little bit kind of emotional. I've been feeling emotional for the past couple of days, to be honest. Um, and I feel like my emotions have been a little bit all over the place, but I mean, that is normal, to be honest, as well. Because my moon is in Gemini, so I tend to be a little bit all over the place when it comes to my feelings and how I'm relating to what's going on, or the vibe or the tone or everything like that. I just finished like sorting a lot of like the recycling and taking care of like some, house errands. So I've been feeling a lot less clutter because there was so much recycling, and we're kind of dealing with a snowstorm right now. So it's definitely something that I feel like the energy right now is very cold, very icy, very like I want to be kept warm. Um, and as a Latina living in the tri-state area, I don't like the cold. I know I'm a Capricorn. I know I was born in January. I was born in the wintertime, but in the Caribbean, there is no such thing as a wintertime as far as weather goes. Like the temperature tends to drop a little bit, but I don't have to deal with it too much down there versus living up here. It tends to be a little hard because it does get really, really cold. I like the idea and the essence of snow, but then when it actually comes, I'm like, okay, now I'm freezing. You know what I mean? And then when things drop to certain levels, I'm just like, I cannot do it. So even like when there's people who have asked me, like, would I move to Alaska? I'm like, I would never. There's not enough sunlight for me. My Leo rising ass. There's just not enough sunlight for me. So yeah, so that's like kind of how my day has been going today, aside from just like working on readings and like working on videos for you guys, because I've been trying to do a lot of different types of content for you guys. So there's just gonna be a ton of different things that you guys are gonna get to see. But I figured I wanted to start this series with a live so you guys can like, you know, talk to me about what your self-care routine is and something that you would want to like improve about it. Like, what is it about, especially because you have to understand that your self-care routine has to be a reaction to your own emotional energy for that day, for that week, for that month. Like, what is it that is going on with you on a personal level, and how are you reacting to it? It's a very, action-based practice. Like, you have to kind of react to it. Like, for me, for today, I'm going to do my makeup so I can look cute for you guys in these videos. That is what I am doing my self-care routine for, aside from the fact that I feel like I have been a little bit moody today, so I'm trying to empower myself through my process with Glamour Magic. Now, when it comes to your self-care routine, what is something that you wish that you could feel after you do your self-care routine practice? Like, is there anything that you feel like you need or you want to benefit from? Like, what is it that you want to take from your self-care routine? Or what are your expectations with your self-care routine? Like, how do you feel like you have been kind of lacking in practicing your self-care routine? Or do you feel like you need to put in more work or hold more time for yourself in whatever way that looks like? Because to me, like, self-care, there's so many different ways that I practice self-care, and a lot of it has to do with what am I in the mood for, what am I feeling, what is my body feeling, what is my spirit feeling, how am I kind of reacting to how I'm feeling. Steph says, I like doing my skincare. Skincare is like one of the funnest things to do when you're especially when you're feeling like not refreshed. Like, I feel like going through your skincare routine is one of my favorite things. Right after I come out of the shower and I'm just like moisturizing and massaging my face, I literally just kind of go a little ham, and I'm just like I get really, really into my skincare routine. And I think it's just kind of important to just hold space for your skin and your body, your texture, paying attention to like certain areas, certain spots in your body, and like, okay, how does that feel? Do you have like a knot, like tension there? Skincare has been a new focus. I'm now realizing how much I have lost touch with my bare skin. Wait, hold on. With my bare skin, but keep up with my makeup obsession. Now it's flipped. I honestly think that's, I definitely get that. I feel like for a really long time, skincare was my kind of main focus, and I kind of ignored my glamour magic routine, especially when it came to makeup. So literally I'm like in the opposite spectrum of everything you just said. But then I started doing my makeup more because I wanted to focus a lot more on that routine, because I felt like I was kind of neglecting a lot of it. I feel like as a Leo rising, I tend to be like, I tend to kind of like forget and be like, oh, okay, well, I've always been the type of person that doesn't pay attention to my looks as much as others might. And I'll just be like, well, I look cute today, whatever. Like I won't put too much thought into it, and I'll just kind of go about my day and be like, okay, you know, I got dressed, I look cute, whatever. I agree with the outfit choices that I just made, like whatever. I'm not gonna beat myself up or be like, oh, you look ugly. Like I've never been that type of person. However, before I was paying attention to my skincare so much, and I've never had any issues with my skin, like too much or anything like that. Like I'll get breakouts here and there, but it's not like something that is super like detrimental or anything like that. Like it's nothing that is, you know, emotionally always like in the back of my mind. Like I was never the type of person that was like, oh my god, oh, you keep getting sick or blah, blah, because I usually would eat really well. I would drink a lot of water. I would stay hydrated. My mom taught me, was the one that put me on not drinking soda. Since I was young, I always hated drinking soda. Always hated drinking soda, to the point that when I grew up, I would get questions and I would get kind of looks with, you know, from my friends in like high school and junior high school. They were like, oh, you're not gonna drink soda? And I'm like, no, I don't like soda. It just doesn't taste good. It gives me like weird gas. It gives me like bubbles. I've never liked soda. So I've always been addicted to water. That's always been kind of like the mood for me. Like I will drink water, and if I'm like going to a restaurant, I'll ask for water or tea, or like if I'm at a cafe, I'll go for tea or water. I've never been really super coffee addicted either, which is a really great thing, because I feel like that caffeine addiction that some people have, I do not want. I'll have coffee here and there, like, and I can see why people are like, I need my coffee, because it does give you that like boost. But for some reason, I prefer matcha. Like I really love the way that matcha hits my body. It's just like this, it's a smoother kind of like energy, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain matcha versus coffee, but coffee is definitely harsher on your body, and how your body kind of takes matcha is just a little bit like, it's a little rough. Like it's a little, no, coffee, it's a little rougher, because you can feel the effects. It's almost like a drug, to be honest. That's what I feel that coffee is. So I don't have it all the time. When I do, I'm like a little bird. I'm like all over the place. I'm like, okay, I gotta get this done. Like I done lose my whole entire shit with coffee. But I've always been a tea girl, and I'm always gonna be a tea girl. You guys know I'm an herbalist, so I'm always gonna be a tea girl. I love mixing herbs. I love, you know, incorporating different herbs, and I feel like coffee can get a little bit boring sometimes. You know what do you know what I mean? Like coffee is like, okay, like even when I get coffee at Dunkin', I'm like, can I add a shot of toasted almond or, you know, blueberry, so I could just taste something different? I don't know. I would get bored of just drinking coffee all the time. And also, is it just me, or do you guys get really overwhelmed at Starbucks when you walk in and you see all the different cappuccino type of things? Like it's frappuccinos, like I always feel so overwhelmed going in there and just being like, okay, well, you want coffee, but like there's 85 million types of coffee. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I just don't understand how you expect me to understand what all of these different types of coffees are. Like, I don't know if you guys like understand what I'm saying, but y'all, okay, some of y'all, you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, it really is a problem. Like, I'm just like, I can't understand what it is that you want from me. I just cannot. Like, I feel like Dunkin' is okay. It's a little bit more reasonable. You know, iced coffee is iced coffee. You can understand certain things, but Starbucks is so overwhelming to the regular person, and I cannot. I just can't. I refuse to cannot. But yeah, so no, I kind of stick to more like clean drinking. Like I love juice, I love smoothies, I love water, I love teas. I'll drink coffee occasionally, but soda is nasty. And it was crazy because recently, it was literally a couple months ago, I actually turned over a can of soda because I was like, I don't know where, I can't remember where I was, but somebody, I think it was like with the chinos, you know how that sometimes you order Chinese and they give you like a can of soda or something like that. That came in and I was just like, I turned it over and I'm like, yo, this has how much sugar in one can? Like, and to me, I don't taste the sweetness of soda. Like, I don't taste where people say it's sweet. I'm like, where? It tastes like pure, like, nasty black soy acetone to me. Like, that's what soda tastes like. It does not taste good. So to me, I'm like, where's the sweetness that is in this one can? It's like 76% sugar. I don't get it. I don't get why people drink it. I don't get why anybody would drink something that you can, like, you know, fuel a truck with. Like, I know that they're trying to do the water thing, but at least water is water. You're made of water. You're not made of soda. So to me, I don't get how people like do it. The only time I have soda is when I have like a rum and coke. But that's the only reason why you would have one for me anyway. But I try to kind of feed my body really, really good things on a regular because I think that it helps my skin. My skin eats, drinks, like it just soaks up water really, really well. I've never had a lot of breakout issues because of that too, because I think that I've always watched the intake of my food. But at the same time, I feel like it runs in my family too, because my sister, all she eats is like fried food. She's really picky eater. All she eats is like fried Dominican food, okay? Dominican food. And she doesn't have like bad skin or anything. Like, it just doesn't completely run in our family to like have like really bad acne or anything like that. Which I think my ancestors for, because I don't know which one of them decided to, you know, make sure they kept up with their glamour magic, but I appreciate their work. I appreciate them passing that down through the DNA and the cycle, you know what I mean? I just started doing my own coffee. When I get a Starbucks, I just get the same drink, iced mocha and vanilla mocha. I just say medium because I can't learn all those names. But what is a mocha? What is it? Like, what does it do? Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what a frappuccino is. I don't know why they call it that. I don't know what a cappuccino is. I don't know what a macchiato, how is that different than the other? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I feel like I need a coffee for like dummies book or something, because I don't understand what they are. And this is why I feel like tea is just less overwhelming than coffee. Or at least that's just what like American culture is. Mocha is basically chocolate in your coffee. Oh, they put chocolate in the coffee? That's the thing? Oh my God. So it's like hot cocoa with caffeine. Oh, y'all about to, like, listen, we're about to break down coffee right now. I didn't know people put chocolate in their coffee. Does it taste more like chocolate, or does it taste more like coffee? Does it have like the hint of like, do you know what I mean? Like a hint of like the coffee in there. I'm really curious now. This is interesting. But I mean, I'm assuming the chocolate is not like a dark chocolate. So I'm assuming it's like one of the like milk chocolates, or is it like cocoa powder? Y'all, I got questions now. You can't be dropping stuff like that, because I'm gonna just be here like, I have questions. I didn't know that. I've only had sips of coffee and it always tastes bad. Oh my God, y'all. I feel like it depends. It depends what coffee it is, because I've tasted some really good coffee before. I've tasted like Colombian coffee is like, you know, it's well known to be really, really good, but I've also tasted really bad Colombian coffee. I live in Jersey, so there's this like one branch, a restaurant that's called Noches de Colombia, which is pretty like popular in Jersey. And they make some good stuff, but their coffee for some reason always gives me a stomach ache. And I'm not allergic to anything. I don't have upset stomach problems. I don't have health problems. Like, every time I go to the doctor, it's always like, are you allergically reacted to this? Do you have this? Do you suffer from this? You know, and I'm like, no, I literally have no issues. No. But for some reason, that darn coffee, I could literally get it just black and add almond milk in my house myself, and I've done that before to try to see if that works, and it still gives me a stomachache. I don't know why, but Colombian coffee, I've tasted that it's really, really good. I love my Café Bustelo. Is probably like, you know, the one that I gravitate towards, because Café Bustelo actually has a really good flavor. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. So yeah, basically the thing they put in is chocolate milk. Oh, okay. The only coffee I knew was Café Bustelo. Y'all, Café Bustelo never fails. And I am so lazy with my Café Bustelo because I buy the instant coffee Café Bustelo. So, you know, all I have to do is like treat it like tea. Like this, I literally just boil water, pour it in the cup, like put a spoonful of the instant coffee, the Café Bustelo, and then boom, add some coconut almond creamer. And that's it. And then the coconut whipped cream. Yo, so good. So good. Like stupid good. Like, oh my God, so good. But I didn't know that it was like chocolate milk. I might try that one. We'll see. We'll see if when Starbucks gives me that you can redeem a free something. I'm gonna try, and I'll let you guys know like next week in the next live. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do, okay, that's what I was gonna do. I'm like, what am I doing? I am gonna do my bronzer. But I'm learning a lot about coffee today, because I most definitely did not know that that's what that was. A little chai tea or matcha, and I'm all set. I really, really love chai tea. Babe got me addicted to the Starbucks. It's like a chai latte with almond milk. Yo, that shit is crack. Their chai latte is crack. Like, it's really, 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 really good. I highly recommend trying it. It's so good. Yo, I haven't tried the Dunkin' Donuts one because the Starbucks one just has such a great flavor. But the only thing is that it has sugar. That's kind of like the only thing. If you wanted to get it like really low carb, you would have to, like, you know, get the chai, have them make you the chai tea and then brew it and then, you know, do a Splenda or something, which is kind of like a lot of work. So I haven't tried it like that, but they put too much almond milk in the Dunkin' one. Okay, well, that's good to know, because I've been wanting to taste it, like try it and see if it's better than the Starbucks one. But I just feel like there's certain things that Starbucks makes better than Dunkin', and there's certain things that Dunkin' makes better than Starbucks. Like there's a line. Like for example, I'm addicted to the passion fruit, the peach passion fruit refresher from Dunkin'. That shit is crack. Y'all, you just need to add 3 Splendas to the large one. That thing is crack, and it's not even like that bad, because it's like half green tea, half passion fruit peach blend, like a juice. And yo, that thing is crack. Oh my God, I literally have gotten it like the whole entire weekend. I've just been ordering Starbucks because I haven't had time to make myself breakfast. And we didn't have, like, we still haven't gone grocery shopping. So literally is what I've been drinking, and I'll just get the large one. That thing is crack. I don't know if you guys have tasted that one, but that thing is crack. But I don't really care for Starbucks's juices or fruit blend type things too much, because I feel like they'll sneak you in with all of this all of the like calories and all of the extra sugars and stuff. It's just kind of a lot. Like, I don't really want to deal with all of that. Like, I've been trying to control my sugar intake ever since last year, and this has been part of my self-care routine. Because guys, I told you guys this last year, I emotionally ate so bad last year. I feel like food and like chocolate, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, what makeup are you using? Oh, I was just putting the Fenty bronzer and Caramel Cutie. It's gonna be it. I'm gonna show it over here too. That's the one I was using. But last year I was emotionally eating so bad. Like, I literally gained like 15 pounds just from last year, just from all the emotionally eating, from work, from like getting like food, from just like sweets. It was just so bad. So my mom actually gave me and Babe a juicer for Christmas, and we literally like went to the supermarket and we bought a whole bunch of like veggies and fruits and apples and oranges and stuff, and we just started juicing and making juices and like drinking it, which has been tasting so good. Y'all, I don't know if I just forgot this from when I was little, but beets have a lot of juice in them. Like, I feel like beets, you hold the beet, right, and it feels like it's just, it feels like a potato, like it's a hard kind of thing, and then you throw it in the juicer and that thing will just squeeze like half a cup of juice. And I'm like, yo, where are you holding all these juices from? Like, it's a juicy ass, it's just a juicy ass fruit, not fruit, vegetable. But it tastes so good. Wait, I just saw a comment. Also, what are you talking about? I just got here. Hello, Joyce. Welcome to the Goddess Hour. So the Goddess Hour is going to be a weekly, so we're going to be doing weekly lives, and there'll be weekly videos showing it, focusing on self-care routine, why it's important, why you should be doing it, how to do it in productive ways, both handling your different energies, including both like, you know, when you're kind of feeling down and how you're reacting, like within anger and everything, like all parts of goddess energy, because goddess energy is not just sunshine and rainbows, it's not just looking cute, it's not just like, no, it's not just that, there's a lot of it. There's anger distribution, there's like a ton of topics that we're going to cover during the Goddess Hours every single month. So yeah, I just been wanting to start this series. So yeah, I'm gonna be using the Rare Beauty in Nearly Mauve. This is the blush. This blush is amazing. It's one of my favorite things. Like, y'all, I don't know whoever's watching me that's into makeup, Rare Beauty has been killing it. I've been saying it since last year. Selena's just been taking all of my coins, and that's fine. But she's literally been taking all of my coins. Like, single thing that she has released has been just like slamming, like straight up slamming. But these blushes are just so pretty and like so soft and like Jesus Christ. So yeah, I've just been kind of like obsessed with Rare Beauty. And I love that she's just doing all the mental health stuff. Like, I really appreciate that she's been focused, like the brand has been donating a lot of money to like mental health and all that stuff, because a lot of people need to focus on that, especially while we're in this pandemic, this pandemonium of energies right now. It's just so needed to kind of discuss and go over and cover that, because y'all, it's been pretty crazy. It's been crazy for a hot minute, and I feel like the people need to focus on their self-care. The people need that. I totally forgot to set my makeup, so I'm gonna just use the Wet n Wild banana. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna focus on. Oh, sorry if I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm new to witchcraft also. What thrift store so you go to with all the games is cool? Oh, so the thrift store I go to, and if you actually binge watch all of my like my witchy thrift store haul, how is that Wet n Wild powder? This one is the banana powder, so it's the Photo Focus banana powder, so it's like a loose setting powder. It's actually really good. So for the thrift store, I just want to say that thrift store is like one of my favorite thrift stores of all time. It is incredible and amazing, and they always just slay. I'm really happy that a lot of you guys have been enjoying the like thrift store videos, because you guys know I always find some dope ass shit in that thrift store. If you've been watching and subscribed for a really long time, you would know, like, it's definitely something that I enjoy doing and going, and like my goal is to have and go with, like, because I usually just ask my mom, like, hey, can we go to a thrift store like once a month, and it'll just be like a hangout day with me and my mom and my sister, and we'll go and, you know, and we'll just go and see what we find. Like, it's always like an experience, and I feel like it's a really well needed experience to just do, because you really never know what you're gonna find there. And I just appreciate being there. I feel like I've been going there since I was like 7 years old, 7 years old. Like, I've been going there like a majority of my life. Like, it is a bomb thrift store. It is called Red, White, and Blue. I keep forgetting to say it in the newer thrift store hauls, but I try to put the I always show you guys like what it looks like on the outside because it says the name, so you guys can Google it if you need to. But it's in Paterson, New Jersey. And best days to go are Wednesday and Saturdays. And if you have like, if your mom or if someone you know happens to be like elderly, they have elderly discounts, so you get 50% off, and sometimes they'll just give you the 50% off throughout the weekdays. But Wednesdays and Saturdays, they put out like the best shit. Like that's just what we have gathered. Whatchamacallit. But yeah, thrifting is one of my therapies because I love old things. I love looking at like the quality of things that have already been bought. Like I like appreciate like things, but I also don't like to always have to go out and buy stuff at like a, you know, at a store, or going to H&M, going to like Target, or going to somewhere like a luxury place just to find something that I might need. Like I think it's really important to think about the planet when you're also thrifting. And I also it's a fun experience to me, because to me I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna find? What am I gonna find today? Where's the other one? Wait, I could have sworn I saw someone mentioned the Basset candle. I mean the Basset statue. Oh yeah, I was amazed that you were able to find the Basset statue. I was surprised as well. However, I was also not surprised because there's a lot of really cool African pieces that they have, like pretty, like especially recently, the past, I want to say 3.5 years, the thrift store for some reason has gotten very, very like cultural is the word I'm going to use. Like there's just been having a lot of different type of pieces, and I was just like, oh my god, when Babe found it and she was like, Abby, and I just look and I'm like, like I literally like did like a shock moment, because I was like, oh my god, wait, are you serious? And then I just kept finding different types of pieces, and I was just like, wow, this is a really cute like thrift store day, because I just found something that I thought I would never find there. So it always surprises me. That's like my favorite thing about it. It just always surprises me. It never ceases to surprise me, and I always find really dope stuff. But I highly recommend, if you live in the tri-state area, take a trip over there. It's not that far. If you live like probably like in Queens or like in Brooklyn, it might take you like 45 minutes to get there. But if you live in the Bronx, it's literally 30 minutes away. Like literally 30 minutes away. Me and my mom usually, before, when I lived at my parents' house, we would leave like at 8:20 and get there before it opens at 9. Like it's really, really close. Because you're just like kind of on the highway, and you're just kind of straight, you're going straight in there. But I highly recommend that thrift store, because you can always find a lot of really dope pieces and just get inspired. And yeah, if you follow me on TikTok, you guys know I did a whole Bridgerton like pieces and kind of inspo video on there, because I kept seeing stuff. I was like, oh my god, this is such a like a very like royal core, cottage core, princess core kind of aesthetic. So I wanted to do a TikTok like showing like all the pieces that you can get at the thrift store, and I found a lot of really cool stuff. So definitely make sure you're following me on TikTok. It's TigeraGitana, and you guys know, and I have TikTok going over here as well. But definitely I'm gonna try to go like once a month, so you guys will get that thrift store vlog and haul once a month. That's like the way I've been doing it for the past couple of months. I feel like it's been working. It's been doable. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Transcend Liquid Luminizer, which is their highlight, which is also amazing that you get all of this highlighter. Like this is a lot of highlight. And I feel like I'm gonna end up using this for the rest of the year. I didn't even buy another highlighter this year, because I was like, okay, I think you're gonna last me for a while, so I'm just gonna keep you where you are. And lately I've been getting really lazy and not wanting to blend with my fingers, so I've just been using the sponge, and it's been working really, really, really well. Like I feel like the sponge is the thing that you use when you don't want to use your fingers. That's basically me right now. But oh, I've been subbed almost since you started your YouTube channel, and I love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate, I mean, I know that we definitely have like evolved a lot in the channel, and my whole entire goal is to have not just one content. And you know what's funny? while being on TikTok, and like when I first created my TikTok and going through and understanding how TikTok works, because TikTok works way differently than Instagram, I've noticed that people use this whole niche kind of word a lot, and having a niche, and you know, people finding you through your niche and having different stuff. But I'm always the type of person that's into so many different types of things. You know what I mean? So I never want my content to be like one thing, for you guys to just know me for one thing. Like, I'm going to do multiple stuff. Like, that's why there's vlogs on my channel. That's why you see like all types of different content, including from the Dollar Tree hauls, because I know you guys love the Dollar Tree hauls. Like, I can see it in the analytics. You guys love them damn things, which is a lot of fun for me to do. But I also love giving you guys different content to look at, and I think it's really, really important to show you different areas of life, not just one thing. Because I feel like when you only have one specific content in your channel, this is when it starts dying after a point. Because we as humans, we are complex beings. We are made up of different things. And so I don't ever want it to be like, oh, Abby, you can only do this, you can only do that, you know, you're all you do is this, you're a content creator for this specific area, this specific niche. I don't ever want it to be that way. I feel like that's kind of boring. I would get bored of my own content if I had to do that. So I will never do that to you guys. That's not like a fun thing. Does the thrift store have crystals? So I haven't seen any crystals in my thrift store. I feel like when it comes to crystals, that would be tricky, because even if I saw crystals at my thrift store, I would be a little bit hesitant to buy them. And the reason why I say that is because crystals are very, to me, I have a relationship with my crystals. That's kind of the way I kind of navigate when it comes to me picking out crystals, me buying crystals, me, like, you know, like I have a relationship with my crystals, and I can actually talk more about how I do that. I'm just going to use the Nearly Neutral and the Rare Beauty, what is this called, liquid eyeshadow, which are also amazing and bomb, and I've just been loving them a lot because it's just a really easy way to do your eyeshadow. So when it comes to picking crystals, and I think I've learned to do this from when I first started purchasing crystals by myself, and just, you know, instead of, because what I used to do is just like go to different parks, and if I would find a crystal, that would be how I kind of would keep my crystals. Like I would just literally go to the park and, oh my god, I found something cool, you're coming to my altar. Like I would kind of keep it really, really simple. But when I started purchasing my crystals like from professional stores and stuff like that, and this is why I recommend my crystal store. It's called Crystal Gardens. It is in New York City, 10th and 1st Ave. Okay, I always recommend it. You guys already know that's the spot. That's the one I've been telling y'all about for a hot minute, and it's just really, really it's a really simple, clear-cut place to go, because when you go inside, you can feel the energy shift. You can feel the energy of all the crystals in there, unlike some of the other crystal stores that you would find. Like and this is another reason why I refuse to buy crystals online. And if I ever get to the point where I sell crystals in my apothecary shop on my website, I will have to feel the energy of the crystal before I sell anything to anybody. Like, if I don't think it carries any energy, because this is how you get sold fake crystals as well, you will not see it. You will not see me supporting it. You will not see me recommending it. You just won't see it. And this is why I tell everybody, go to Crystal Gardens in Manhattan, 10th and 1st Ave, okay? It's a really amazing crystal shop. They have plants as well. It's really, really like small. It's like a little nook and cranny. Okay, it's really small, but it is the best crystal shop in New York. You can fight me on this. As like me living in New York for such a long time, and like going to different crystal shops and like kind of testing all of them, I would literally go inside different crystal shops and be like, oh no, this is not it. Like I immediately would feel the vibe and just be like, no, this is not it. I feel nothing here. Like, even if some crystals, like, you know, would give some energy, that specific one, like the Crystal Gardens themselves, when you even are walking towards the shop, you can feel the energy of those crystals. It is intense. Like, you walk in and it's just like like you feel the energy of that store. Like it's such a powerful store. The owner is a Gemini. I've told you guys the story a couple times. The owner's a Gemini. He's really dope. He's really sweet. He's not always there because what he does is that he has the ability to see energy. So what he does is that he flies all around the world. He has like, you know, business connections where, you know, they tell him like, hey, where we have like a crystal, like, you know, area, or like he'll fly to a specific area because they have specific crystals. So he'll go to those specific locations where the crystals are found, and he'll pick out the strongest one and he'll bring it to his shop. So that's what he does. So it's a really, really powerful store because you have someone that is authentic to his, you know, his purpose with what he does with his craft. And I think that when you go in, you definitely feel it. So you feel the quality. It's like, it's on an energetic level. You feel the quality. It's not just like, oh, you know, this is just another crystal shop. You feel the quality, and you can tell. And the second you buy any of their crystals, the vibration changes. Things start shifting. It's just a different vibe. It's a different energy. It's a different vibe. And I really appreciate what he does and what the store brings to the rest of us, because I think it's important to, you know, have an authentic crystal store, especially in New York City. It's so hard to find one, but I 100% think that it's important to have like an authentic place, because in some other states you can't really find places like that. So he's a really dope dude. Everybody that works in that store is also really dope. They're all guys, super sweet. I know there's one is a Cancer, the other one is like a Scorpio. Like, they're really dope. You can get into really cool conversations with them. They know their shit. If you have like crystal questions, all of that, so definitely check them out. I send them people all the time. Like, they tell me all the time, like, oh, somebody said that you know, they heard of us through you, so thanks for putting them on. Like, I'm always sending people to Crystal Gardens. Like, they know. Like, they really, really know. So can I see your altar? So my altar spaces, there's some one of my altar spaces that I have shown in videos and blogs before, but your altar space is very, very sacred. So I don't ever like feel super comfortable sharing my altar space because my spirits do not feel comfortable being shown. I feel like it would depend on the circumstance as to what, when, and why I would show my altar space. And oh, I'm just gonna use the Rare Beauty, which one is this one? Magnetic Spirit eyeshadow palette. I'm just gonna go with this one right here, which is one of the ones I use the most. So yeah, if I end up showing my altar space or like creating an altar and then you guys seeing it at some point, that's because I would have had that permission, but they have not made me feel comfortable doing that, like Spirit has not. So that's why I don't end up sharing my altar spaces when it comes to like on a publicly like that. So yeah, it kind of depends. Like, sometimes I'll show you guys my personal altar because I think it's important to kind of give you guys examples on how to do it for yourselves and how to have that, you know, set up. And I am gonna make a whole another video. I think that's gonna be one of the videos for the Goddess Hour, because you need to have a personal altar, especially if you're trying to work with your own energy, and how personal altars help you manifest using your own energy as well. So there will be a video of that coming up at some point, but yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. When I was little, we would pass by the Botanica. My family would tell me not to look at the Santa Muerte statues. I think that's why I was scared for so long. Is it a culture thing? So I feel like when it comes to skulls, I feel like it's a fear-mongering thing, to be quite honest. When it comes to skulls, when it comes to like death, when it comes to that, like, there's been a lot of fear-mongering by different, I would say, I don't want to say different cultures, because there's definitely one that has done the most fear-mongering with, you know, death energy, Santa Muerte. A lot of it is very deep-rooted from Christianity as well, because you have and, you know, Catholics and stuff, because you have like the Catholic Church and, you know, the kind of condemning Santa Muerte and calling her evil and all of this kind of stuff. Like there's always been this like huge fear mongering with death energy in a more current, you know, era, I would say. And I feel like for the past couple of eras, there's just been a lot of fear mongering when it comes to death energy and Santa Muerte. But I feel like the problem with our family lines and the things that are passed down to us is that I think that for so long, a lot of people have died in such traumatic ways in the past. There are a lot of different traumas surrounding death itself that has been passed down through the bloodline, so our parents naturally gravitate to passing on that message to us and to like the next generation. It's just always been kind of this really weird relationship with death and why death is not important or why it's evil and all this kind of stuff. So when it comes to like Santa Muerte and how people like fear her and see her as like a bad entity, even though you can work with Santa Muerte for both, you know, good and bad stuff, because death plays a role in many different ways, and death can be a bad thing as well as it can be a great thing. So there are dualities and like different layers to her, and I do feel like people just kind of look at, you know, who she's also can be associated with, because I know like even with like in Mexico, like some people connect her with the cartels and stuff like that, so they're like, oh, that's who they worship, that blah blah blah, blah. So they kind of see Santa Muerte as like this bad entity because she helps people that are in cartels or anything like that. The thing with Santa Muerte is that she would really literally work with anyone, because death is a universal process. Like it's not a favoritism, it's not a like it's not like you have to be an elite to work with Santa Muerte. Like you could literally, anybody could work with death energy and Santa Muerte, because death is a universal experience. Transitions, it's a very Plutonian energy. All of the essence of Santa Muerte herself connects to Pluto and transformation and death. So there is like this, oh, thank you for the congratulations on the recent engagement, thank you. Yeah, death is a really important factor in all of our lives, because we're constantly going through death moments, and then sometimes we have like the big transition, sometimes we have like the smaller transitions where there's just like small deaths that we go through in life, but they're all necessary, and she's gonna show up for her own energy, you know. That's like where you see it in. I have to go. Will you go on live tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow is our weekly oracle poll, so definitely make sure you come through. Hold on. Altars are definitely a form of self-love for me. It's vulnerable to share with a lot of people. 100%. 100%. I do feel like your altar is a way of holding space, not only to you, but also to spirit, because that's really what it comes down to. It's like you're saying, hey, I appreciate you. I'm going to have a space set up in my own, in my home or in my, you know, my respective area where I'm going to hold space for you, where I feel like we'll be able to connect, and that I can honor you in whatever way I feel comfortable in doing. While it's not always necessary for like all spirits, I think that ultimately there are some spirits that will appreciate it more than others. And I've told you guys like a million times, like the archangels really do not care if you have an altar for them. That it's just not a necessary process at all, because a lot of their work with you they do on an energetic level, and they don't necessarily need that type of kind of relationship. Ooh, it's hard to do your eyeliner and talk at the same time. Hold on. You know, messing up your eyeliner is like a fear at some point. You're gonna be like, and then having to replicate it on the other side is also a hot mess situation. But yeah, talking in eyeliner, no, that's magic, y'all, for real. They see something more there. Oh, black magic and narcos. Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it kind of gets like that sometimes, where, you know, people kind of demonize her based on who works with her. But they do that to like every spirit though. Like you can think about any saint, anyone, even if the saint is like super calm and peaceful and they just are known for something positive, like we'll find a way to demonize it. We'll 100% find a way to like it makes absolutely no sense why, but for some reason people will find a way. Now let's see if I can like completely duplicate this wing, cause y'all, hold on, hold on, ooh, 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 yo, is it just me or am I the only one that when I'm doing my wing, I low-key want to go full blown like Kemetic Asian Egyptian like blah like in your face wings? Is it just me? Because every time I do my wings I'm like I just want to go like and just kind of go ham. But that literally happens to me. This is an inner conversation I have with myself every time I do my wings. Yeah, I gotta clean up this wing though because it's looking kind of crazy. Okay, there we go. And did I get it? Oh, y'all, I got the wing. Oh, I'm also using the Rare Beauty. I literally like a ton of my makeup is like Rare Beauty. The liner from Rare Beauty, which is really, really good. Same, don't do it, you know it look good. No, but for real, I literally will be out here like trying to do like the most with my wings. And this is why I appreciate when Halloween kind of comes around, because then I get to like go crazy with like makeup and just be like extra, like super extra. But yes, so what else was I gonna do? Oh, I need my brows. I was like, wait, what else do I need to do? Am I done? No. I'd be doing that and then I'd be forgetting like the mascara, the everything else, and I'm just like, what am I doing? What is going on with my life? What is going on with my life today? So today I'm kind of keeping it a little bit low-key because I'm feeling very neutral. So I'm just doing my makeup very neutrally. Is neutrally a word? Probably not. But I'm really excited that we're going to be doing more lives together because I've been wanting to do more lives with you guys aside from like the weekly healing circle, because I feel like the weekly healing circle is very structured as far as like we got to cover the week, we have to cover the energy, we have to cover like the messages, and then sometimes we do like meditations and stuff, so it can be very much very intensive because it's a moment. I created it specifically to be a moment for us to like heal and connect and like hold space for each other. And really find some peace at the beginning of the week. Mondays are really, really powerful days because they're ruled by the moon and the moon's energy, and they're all about emotions. This is why I always pick the kind of theme that we're going to be talking about, or even the energy that we're working with, or even the meditation. I always look at the moon. That's what the weekly healing circles are based on, the moon. Because I think it's important to start the week assessing your feelings. Sundays are always like a very sacred self moment. Like you're supposed to kind of pause and, you know, relax and reflect. And this is why I want to, like, if you look at Sundays historically, even though, you know, the date for church and stuff got moved to Sunday, as far as like you have to go to church on Sundays, but Sundays on a spiritual level, if you look at the planetary hours and everything, and even if you're working with spell work, Sundays you're supposed to take off. You're not supposed to be doing spell work on Sundays because Sundays are ruled by the sun. So you should be holding space for your own energy on Sundays. And this is another reason why I can't do readings on Sundays. And while I kind of just take the day, because you're not supposed to be working and doing, and you know, like doing too much on a Sunday. It's supposed to be for you. So think about Sundays as it connects to your sun sign, to you, to your ego, your willpower, what you want to do, your self-care, whatever it is that you want to do. Sundays are a very is a recharge time for me. Like I recharge for the week ahead, and then Mondays come through and then I connect with the emotions and I'm like, okay, cool. This is what this week is going to look like. This is what I'm working on. This is how I'm going to prep. This is what I need to buy. This is what I need to do. And So I always structure my weeks off that way, and then work with the planetary hours respectfully, because it just needs to be it is definitely something really, really common in my practice to work with the planetary hours, which is why I also try to do the podcast on Wednesdays, which is the day of Mercury, um, and the Archangel Thursdays on Thursdays, because Thursdays is connects to Jupiter. It's a very lucky day, but it's also a very educational day. And because Jupiter has such a divine and powerful energy, because Jupiter is known to be uh, the gods of the gods, I kind of want to make sure that I give you guys that divine that like divine those divine downloads, or divine messages from the angels, and just to tap in and connect with them. So that's why I like kind of structure it the way I do. I love it when you recommend stuff. I got the crystal water bottle, and I've been talking to in the Talking with Spirit book really help my practice. Yeah, 100%. I like to definitely recommend. You guys know, if something works, I'm gonna put you guys on. If something is gonna make your life simpler, I'm gonna put you guys on. I am a really, really big nerd. I love reading. You guys know I say it all the time. I'm a Ravenclaw, okay? So I love reading. I love kind of discovering new things. My Mars is in Sag. My Venus is in Aquarius. I am a very passionate about my brain and knowledge, and I get really curious. That's kind of one of the things I love about myself, is my curiosity. And when I have those moments of like, I see something, whether it be on TikTok, whether it be like online, whether it be on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, what's that? That initial moment of just trying to discovering something new, or something that I never knew, um, it's one of my it's one of my favorite things, because I feel like babe just wanted me to have my ring on, so she gave it to me. So I feel like it's one of my favorite things, because it helps me work with my energy a lot better, because if I know I'm doing something that I love, or I'm working with something that I love, like reading or discovering something new or experiencing something new, like I love to take different types of workshops of things that I'm curious about. I love to like uh learn and be exposed to different things. I'm out here to try a lot of stuff. Like I love, like my spirit will tell me when something is not meant for me, but I definitely love to explore and test my knowledge, and put myself in the position where I'm learning something new, and I'm not kind of, know, disregarding information. I'm never the type of person that would be like, no, I'm not gonna look at that. I'm not gonna want to know. Like I'm too curious for that. You know what I mean? Um, Books, yes, Venus and Aqua gang for 100%. Like me and my sister have our Venuses are both in Aquarius, so we both love very, very similarly. And I'm gonna tell y'all this story because it's damn well hilarious. So my sister was actually she slept over the weekend in our house, right? And our roommate, who happens to be an Aquarius, is really, really funny. He happens to be a Aquarius. He ended up getting a little crush on my sister, okay? Now, when you have a Venus in Aquarius, and I think every Venus in Aquarius will tell you this, when we like someone, you will know. You will know, because we're not the type to, play too much or make you wait, or like, make it not obvious. Like we will give you the time of day, okay? We will give you the time of day. We will find a way to get your social, not your social security, like your social media, whatever. We'll target your digits, whatever. Like we will go out of our way to be, adorable and like connect, okay? And so he got a crush on my sister from like literally 2 seconds of talking to her, and my sister was just like, and we were just kind of laughing and having this conversation about astrology, because we were talking about his natal chart, because he's an Aquarius, and he was telling me how ever since I told him that, his his Jupiter's in Aquarius, like he's gonna be really lucky this year. And he wants me to look at his chart and all that stuff. He's noticed that he's gotten really, really lucky in certain situations. He hasn't had to pay for certain things, or like just his luck has completely magically changed. And I'm like, yeah, your Venus is in Aquarius. I told you this like a month ago. Ever since that's happened, he's been kind of going a little bit, he's like, I think about you saying that all the time now. Like, I just notice things now, and I connected to what you said. And I'm like, yeah. And so me and my sister were talking, to him, because me and my sister has always been into astrology. We kind of, our Venuses are in Aquarius. We, you know, you guys know, like, Aquarius is rule astrology, so we love talking about astrology, looking, like, studying astrology, knowing people's signs. Like, me and my sister's always been the type where we're like, we meet someone, we're like, oh, what side are you? Like, we'll straight start conversations that way. Like, that's just how we are. So it was really, really interesting kind of talking to him, because we were just like talking to him like, okay, so like, before I even we started the conversation, I looked to my sister and I was like, he's an Aquarius, because she's gonna want to know, the question's gonna come up, like, I know my sister. And we're talking to him, and he ended up like having a little crush on her. And so he got really, really high that night, right? So he's texting me talking about, Abby, can I get her number or her IG? And I'm like, listen, if my sister wanted you, she would have already, I would have been sending that information to her, because I already know what that energy looks like. Because I'm like the same way. When I like someone, I don't really like to miss an opportunity. Like, yes, sometimes I'll give it a second, or I'll wait till I see the person and again, or I'll see, I feel like Venus and Aquarius, we like to fantasize about different scenarios, so we'll give ourselves a couple different scenarios before we make a full move. But my sister is like the type of person that if she likes someone, she's gonna be like, Abby, and then I'm gonna know. So it was really funny, because I was trying to explain to him, I was like, so my sister doesn't like you like that. It's also, she just got out of a relationship, but my sister doesn't like you like that. Because trust me, and I'm trying to explain to him, like, why it's not gonna happen. And he's like, well, I just want to go on a date and, talk. I just want to go on a date and talk. And I'm like, right, but so you want something like like something romantic, and I'm trying to tell you, it's not gonna happen. I don't want you to be disappointed here. And he's like, nah, but just going on a date doesn't mean that you're gonna go and have a love relationship or anything like that with them. And I was like, well, that's exactly what it implies, because society has defined the definition of a date to be something that can lead to something romantic. Had he said, and I told him, I was like, had you said, oh, you just want to be friends or whatever, then obviously that's a different conversation, because you're just there is a such thing as a friend zone. Okay, when you're saying, hey, we could be friends, you're dope, can we just talk, you're kind of putting that person in the friend zone from the get. But the second you're like, oh, no, I just want to go on a date and talk and or whatever, and I was just like, do you not see what you're doing or what you're saying or how you're using your words? And he was like, well, saying date doesn't necessarily mean that, it's a romantic thing. And I'm like, are you trying to change the definition of date? Because that's not what society has agreed upon. Like, as an Aquarius, he's trying to be like, futuristic and trying to use a word in a different way, but then at the same time ignoring the fact that society has already set the standard for what the word means. So I was just like, I was just laughing so hard, because I was like, you're being such an Aquarius, but at the same time ignoring certain aspects of yourself when you're trying to convince me of whatever it is that you're trying to convince me of. And I was just laughing so hard, because he really, really, really wanted her number. And I'm just like, well, I'm trying to help you out, sir. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna work. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's just not gonna work. And he kept telling me like, oh, but I don't even want it to be romantic. And I'm like, but you literally texted me, I have a crush on your sister, can I get her information? What does that mean if not that, you want to have something with her, right? So it was just so funny, because I was just like, bro, you are like half gaslighting, and it's not gonna work because I'm too smart for this shit. And he was like, yo, Abby, I love it when you're like really intuitive and you understand, but at the same time, I need you to see it from my point of view. And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to help you out, man. I'm really, really just trying to help you out. The other funny story about this is that his ex is a Capricorn. Me and my sister are both Capricorns. So I'm just like, you already know how we are when it comes to like, like love relationships. So why are you trying to make this work? It's just not gonna happen. And it was hilarious. Like, and every time she would come out of the room or whatever, he would just like try to talk to her. It was just so annoying. It was so annoying. And I just wanted to slap him for a second, because I'm like, why you keep hitting on my sister? He kept thinking that he needed my permission, and I was like, it's not about that. Like, she does not want to partake in that. And one of these days I'm gonna end up doing a live with my sister so we can all like chat and stuff. And so you guys can like meet her properly, because I know you guys seen her in vlogs and stuff, but you guys haven't like actually gotten to talk to my sister. So eventually like you guys will, you know, get to talk to her and like have conversations and stuff. But yeah, she literally came to my house and the first thing she said was, I want a reading, which is what everybody says to me. Everybody. Babe, at the beginning, actually every other week, babe's like, I want a reading. My sister calls me, I want a reading. My father-in-law, I want a reading. Everybody's like, I want a reading. I'm like, guys, I am booked for this week. I cannot partake in this except for babe, because obviously like if babe needs a reading, I have to like stop everything I'm doing and give her a reading. But it's just really funny the way that kind of everybody, including my roommate, he's like, I want a reading. When are you doing a reading for me? And I'm just like, y'all y'all think I have all the time in the day? And I literally had to take a pause from doing readings today because I was getting a little bit burnt out, and that's why I started the live. I'm getting right back into readings after I finish the live with you guys, just because I gotta send out the readings that I've done for the day to you guys, so you guys can get all the downloads and all the information. But it's been interesting. I've been doing a lot of shadow astrology readings lately. I feel like a lot of people have been trying to understand a lot more their shadow astrology energy, and why it's important to look at, why it's important to pay attention to it and address it and figure out how to work with it. So it's been kind of interesting doing so many shadow astrology readings. And also the one for this month for the channel, because I know I told you guys I'm going to be doing a cancel culture shadow astrology reading for a specific person once a month for the remainder of the year. That's going to be coming very, very soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. I got the shadow astrology reading with you, but I still want to get the birth chart reading with you. Oh, Steph, yeah, I remember. I definitely remember that one. I think shadow astrology readings are just really, really important, because it just shows you of like a lot of the opportunities that you might have, or that you could possibly be using right now, that you might like ask yourself like, why am I like this? Why do I do this? Why do I react like this? Why do I have like these type of emotions, these type of reactions? Why do I do this to myself? Or why do I have these type of like connections or relationships? Or like, why do I talk to people this way? Like, I think it's really important to look at that, and also look at like your trauma in relation to your natal chart, and like the things that you are still carrying from past lives. You can see that in your shadow astrology with your retrogrades, with your like north node, what's going on, what's your life lesson, how you could possibly not be doing what you're meant to be doing in your life. Like it just shows so much information, and I think that it's a good thing to focus on for people who are trying to do shadow work but don't understand how to address their own shadow work. Because I feel like when you tell someone, oh, you know, it's not always love and light, you got to work on the shadow stuff too, people are like, okay, but what is the shadow work? What does that mean? And I feel like looking at your natal chart through the lens of shadow astrology just completely shines a light on the things that you might need to work on. Like it makes you think. It really, really, really does make you think where your opportunities might be, what you might need to work on, and really where you need to place your energy as far as your healing goes. Because the other thing about shadow astrology is that it highlights what you need to heal and why. Like for the rest of your life, you might have issues in some areas, and when that's triggered, you're gonna want to know what that looks like and why you need to like heal it and, you know, get that done. You were like, don't get loans, me with student loans. Y'all. No, but for real, sometimes like when it comes to like astrology, if you are very badly aspected in a specific spot, and then you end up, you know, doing it, it turns into like, especially with loans, that 8th house energy, y'all, the 8th house energy is it's hard, because when you have like loans, or when your 8th house, when you're going through that kind of transition where you're getting the debt attached to your energy, to your soul, to your spirit, especially when it's contracted. This is another reason why I haven't taken out a credit card in years. Like, I closed my accounts and stuff, and I'm working on healing my debt energy. I can do a whole other video on that. But side note, TikTok has definitely taught me some tips about getting rid of debt and stuff like that, especially like when there's like a bunch of videos on TikTok about, like, you know, how when you're, you know how like the bank, or like, yeah, like basically the bank, whoever lends you the money in the first place, like for credit cards or like student loans and stuff like that, when they sell it to somebody else, you can actually get it removed because you never signed a contract with the company that bought it in the first place. So collectors and stuff like that, I've been learning a lot about how you can get that shit removed, and that's literally what I'm working on right now, like getting some of the things like removed that got sold to other people that I've never like had business with. And I am definitely, like, for the remainder of like next year, this year and next year, my goal is to not have any debt, like, at all, like associated to my name at all. Like, I don't want no debt, and just kind of getting clear through that. I don't want to have anything, especially with student loans. There's a lot of it when it comes to student loans. I didn't understand what like a lot of that meant when I would get told, oh yeah, you need it for school and stuff like that. But if I knew the actual consequences of what getting student loans would actually be, I would have never gotten it in the first place at all. Like, I would have went to a CUNY. I would have just stayed at a CUNY because I went to a private school first and then I transferred to a CUNY, which was a lot better because shit, the state was paying me to go to school. Like, it was just straight bliss with CUNY. Even though, like, I don't regret the fact that I met who I met in the connections that I made with going through that process. But yo, if I had a time machine, I would have straight up like not went to a private school, just straight up stayed in a state school or like a city school, and I would have graduated just fine, and the government would have been paying me the whole entire time with FAFSA. Like, I would have just gotten those return checks this whole time, and I would have been debt free and anything. Like, I was really, really annoyed when I figured that out, like, later on, like when you actually, after you have to start paying and stuff like that, you're like, wait, but this doesn't make any sense. Like, stuff starts not making sense. So it kind of sucks that we kind of put kids in a debt mentality very early on, because they're like, oh yeah, you get to have the money now and you get to put it towards this, and then later on you're like stuck in this nasty debt loophole. And this is why I do feel like there should be more like financial education in high school and stuff like that, like shit that we actually need to know. So 100% try to see if you can get that clear. And Steph, one of the things I'm doing is through Credit Karma. You can literally log in and dispute certain shit on there. So make sure you like go check that out. Like, look that up, because that shit is like, TikTok's been straight up teaching me a lot of things lately. How do I get the shadow astrology reading? So Dominique, you can actually get it. You can book it on my website. So I don't have the link posted right now because I'm on the live. But once this live posts, like, you'll be able to look it up on my website, or you can just go to www.TigeraGitana.com, and it's gonna be under the Work With Me tab in the astrology side, which should be the first page of it all. And that's where you would be able to book the shadow astrology reading with me if you would like to get one. You're just gonna need your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and then just send that through, and then I will be working on it. There's a little bit of a delay with the shadow astrology readings right now because I straight up been doing astrology readings for the like all week, and they're a little bit backed up. So just keep an eye out, because it does say the return date is like 3 to 5 days for the readings, because I have to like study your chart first, and then I'll like go ahead and record the reading for you, and then you'll be able to like go through and listen to it. So yeah, it'll take a minute, but once it's done and I send it to you, it'll be 100% worth it. So yeah, definitely check it out on my website if you would like to get an astrology reading with me. Y'all doing liner and talking at the same time? Y'all know where I learned this? The train. That MTA will teach you a lot when you're trying to like get to work, but also like be presentable at the same time. You will be going through the mostest. Okay, where's the one that I wanted to use? That was it's not chew. Where is it? Oh, here we go. And I'm just gonna use, oh sorry, I just used the Wet n Wild gel liner in Gone Burgundy, and I'm just gonna top it with the Nearly Berry Gloss Bomb by Burr Beauty, because the formula is like my life. It's just my life right now, so that's what I'm gonna use. It's such a pretty color. It's just such a pretty color. I will definitely look into that. Thank you. 100%. Literally, go into Credit Karma, okay? Go into Credit Karma, and then click on whichever one it is, and then you can literally, it tells you like, should you dispute it? They'll like recommend you disputing it because you can get it removed. And I'm like, y'all, you're telling me that it's illegal for y'all to buy debt, but they're still doing it and trying to collect money from everybody? That's just stupid. Yo, I swear, like, millennials and Gen Z are gonna be like debt free with all the information like out there. Like, TikTok has literally been a blessing in disguise, because I feel like a lot of people are teaching each other like different things, and there's so much content on there that is more knowledge based, and I like it more than Instagram, to be quite honest. And a lot of time that's kind of why I haven't been posting as much as on Instagram, but I feel like when it comes to TikTok, it's really informational, really funny. You just have so much different type of content. It's almost like YouTube, but shorter, faster speed. It's like a Tinder version of YouTube. That's the way I'm going to describe it, because you can just swipe and just keep it kind of pushing, but you can learn a lot, kind of like the same way you can learn a lot on YouTube. You can learn a lot on TikTok as well. So I've been really enjoying it because I've been finding a lot of really cool like tips and stuff like that. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I really appreciate everyone who has taken the time to inform the public about anything, or like share something that they know, or you know, like, I feel like all of that matters. Like, we all need to be more well informed, especially because when we go to school, back in the day, like, when going to school is not a lot that, you know, we were taught that we still currently use today. Like, there's just so much I can say that I would have swapped for other knowledge if I could, then, so that I could actually would have applied it today. You know what I mean? So I feel like it needs to be more productive, and I just like that, you know, that is a platform, and I do think that is going to continue to blow up and probably make Instagram, you know, lose a little bit of its edge that it's been having. So much info now. I appreciate the bite-sized info, then taking action to see if it's true. Yeah, 100%. Like, literally 100%. That's how I feel about TikTok. Like, I'll see something, and then somebody will recommend something, or be like, hey, this is how I do this X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, oh, that's a thing. And then I'll like look it up, look into it. Like, again, it piques my curiosity, which is something that I do for my own self-care. Like, I love knowledge. I love like finding out new things. Like, and I also like think about other people while I'm kind of seeing some of the videos and stuff. So sometimes I'll share it with someone who I know might be going through a certain situation that video could have helped them with. So I'll be like, oh my god, this is such a like this friend, or let me just send that to this person, and and like, it's like as a really good way to share information. It's a very Aquarian app, to be honest. So I've really been enjoying it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because I'm gonna go like have a snack real quick and start shooting the videos for you guys. But I hope that you loves enjoyed the Goddess Hour, the first episode. There's gonna be more episodes soon, and we're gonna be talking about different topics and stuff like that. So the lives are gonna be different because we're just gonna be having a chat, but there's definitely going to be videos specifically for the Goddess Hour, so stay tuned for that. I really love talking to you guys. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to the members. Thank you to the Patreon members as well. I really appreciate you guys. It's just been really amazing to grow with you guys and to not only challenge your healing, but like heal together collectively. So thank you so much for all that you guys do for me. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.